Yo, what's up guys, Fleur here, and today, this video will be after week 1, my top 25 polls, and my new Heisman Watch, the top 5. So I'll be coming out with this, probably every Wednesday, because it depends if there's games on Monday or Tuesday, like there was last night. So, let's get into this. First I'm going to talk about my top 25 polls. I'm just going to go over like who won and lost from last week. So at number 1 I had Alabama, and they won. So they beat Michigan 41-14. Number 2, USC beat Hawaii 49-10. Number 3, LSU beat North Texas 41-14. Number 4, Oregon beat Arkansas State 57-34. Number 5, Oklahoma barely beat UTEP 24-7. Georgia beat Buffalo 45-23. And Michigan, I had at number 7. They lost to Alabama, so they'll be dropping. And then number 8, Florida State beat Murray State 69-3. And then Arkansas, they beat Jacksonville State 49-24. And then number 10, South Carolina beat Vanderbilt 17-13. That was the Thursday night game. And then West Virginia, they beat Marshall 69-34. And Clemson beat Auburn 26-19. That was a good game. Wisconsin struggled against Northern Iowa, but they were able to win 26-21. Number 14, Virginia Tech, the Monday night game. They beat Georgia Tech 20-17 in an overtime thriller. Then number 15, Michigan State. They beat Boise State 17-13. That was a Friday night game. And then Nebraska, they beat Southern Miss 49-20. Oklahoma State took care of Savannah State and beat them 84-0. And then number 18, Texas, they beat Wyoming 37-17. Number 19 was TCU, and they did not have a game in week 1. So number 20, Stanford, they barely beat San Jose State 20-17. You know, they got to replace Andrew Luck. And number 21, Kansas State beat Missouri State 51-9. And then number 22, Boise State lost to Michigan State 17-13. Florida, they beat Bowling Green 27-14. And then number 24, Auburn, they lost to Clemson 26-19. That was, like I said before, that was a good game. And then number 25, I had Georgia Tech at number 25. I was hoping they could win this game, but they lost to Virginia Tech 20-17 in overtime. Alrighty, so now some other key games I will talk about was Tennessee, they beat NC State 35-21. Notre Dame beat Navy 50-10 in that game in Ireland. And then Northwestern and Syracuse went back and forth, and Northwestern won 42-41. And then another thing I want to point out is Maryland. They played against William and Mary, and Maryland won 7-6. That's just not good. So, alright, so my new top 25 polls should go on the screen right now, and it goes like this: Alabama, USC, LSU, Oregon, Georgia, Oklahoma, Florida State, Arkansas, West Virginia, Clemson, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, Texas, TCU, Kansas State, Stanford, Florida, Northwestern, Louisville, and then Notre Dame at 25. Alright, so that's my top 25 polls, and I'm doing this before the real top 25 polls can't come out, so yeah. And then for the Heisman, recently my top 5 was Matt Barkley, Monty Ball, Denard Robinson, Marcus Lattimore, then Landry Jones. And Matt Barkley, he beat Hawaii 49-10. And he was 23 of 38 and had 372 passing yards for 4 touchdowns. He averaged 9.8 yards per completion, so he had a great game. You know, everyone's thinking that he's going to win. I think he will drop off a little bit later in the season, but, you know, it'll be close, this Heisman race. Number 2, Monty Ball. He's a running back for Wisconsin. They barely beat North Iowa. 26-21 was the score. He had 32 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown, so he did have a pretty good game. So we'll see how he plays the rest of the season. And number 3, Denard Robinson. You know, they had that game at Cowboy Stadium. They lost to Alabama 41-14. He was 11-26 for 200 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Even though one of them there was pass interference and wasn't called, but you know, can't make excuses because the game was already played. And you know, I could go on about this for like half an hour because I'm a Michigan fan, and that game was BS. And Denard also had 27 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. And then number 4, Marcus Lattimore. They beat Vanderbilt 17-13, and he had 23 carries for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 3 receptions for 21 receiving yards. Number 5, Landon Jones. They beat UTEP 24-7. That was a struggle for them. That should have been an easy game, but it was close early, then they kind of pulled away, but it was still too close for Oklahoma, a big school like that. He was 21 of 36 for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just an all-right performance, but he's got to do better against UTEP. So some other good performances from week 1. Le'Veon Bell beat Boise State 17-13. He's the Michigan State running back. He had 44 carries for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns and had 6 receptions for 55 receiving yards. And then let's see, Aaron Murray, the Georgia quarterback, he played against Buffalo and they won 45-23. He was 15-26 for 258 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 10 yards per completion. And then Marquise Lee, the wide receiver from USC, he caught some passes from Matt Barkley, and he had 10 receptions for 197 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 19.7 yards per catch, and he had that 75-yard receiving touchdown on the first play of the game. And next is Kenny Stills, the wide receiver from Oklahoma. He had 6 receptions for 121 yards and a touchdown. That's a 20.2 yard average per reception. And then also Geno Smith, the quarterback from West Virginia. They won 69-34 against Marshall. He was 32 of 36, only 4 incompletions. That's crazy. He also had 23, or his yard total was 323 for 4 touchdowns, and he ran the ball 8 times for 65 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. And then the 2 guys from Oregon, D'Anthony Thomas and Kenyon Barner. Thomas had 3 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown, and he had 4 receptions for 55 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. And Kenyon Barner had 9 carries for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. That offense scored 50 points in the first half. That's just crazy. And then Logan Thomas, the quarterback from Virginia Tech, he was 21 of 38 for 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did not throw an interception. He also had 40 rushing yards. So that's all the key performances that I put out in this video. So my new top 5 Heisman will be on the screen now, and it goes like this: Matt Barkley, Geno Smith, Monty Ball, D'Anthony Thomas, and then Denard Robinson at number 5. So subscribe for more. That's gonna be it for this video. I will come out with this each week, either on Tuesday or Wednesday, so look out for those, and like the video if you enjoyed, and leave your comments below of what you thought. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. Peace.